I mean, I don't even know what to say, everybody. I don't know how to even communicate this game to you all. First off, let me just start by saying this. Shout out to Aaron for the ticket. Hooked me up. I was able to go. Great experience. Crowd was amazing. As always. Faithful showed up. Um there's so many things to unpack about this game. And it seems like the dirty laundry was aired in front of the most popular stage, Sunday Night Football. And it got messy. It got messy. The score won't indicate that, but the 49ers really did not play well on multiple levels. And they deserved to lose. Honestly, I was surprised that they got back into that game. Um, but they were getting their ass kicked. Like it was they couldn't stop just Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Like they were playing, pitch and catch. And there's just so much to that went wrong. But I think you should start by looking at the leaders. And by that I mean the coaches, Kyle Shanahan, D'Amico Ryans. Um, I don't know what was going on defensively in the secondary, but there was a lot of man-to-man, one-on-ones with Devontae Adams, and Aaron Rodgers did not miss a throw going long. Like, something has to give. You have to give them help, and it looks like the theme of the coaches is they weren't able to adjust to what the Packers were throwing at us. Offensively, the same thing. Kyle Shanahan wasn't able to get nothing going with the run game. Credit the Packers for just stuffing everything. They looked like the 49ers should look. They dominated the line of scrimmage defensively and offensively. And this is a Packers team that's down. They're down two left tackles. They're down to their third string left tackle. Okay. Darius Smith isn't playing either on the defensive side. So you would expect the 49ers to be dominant. That wasn't the case. The Packers played like the 49ers should have played. And the box score kind of indicates that. We'll look at the box score right now. But all in all, like Kyle Shanahan did not change anything with the offense. I mean, defensively, the Packers were just sitting on routes, waiting to hit Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, whoever the case may be. And with the arm Jimmy has, they have time to get there and hit him. Get a player hurt. Surprise, those guys were able to walk off the field. They're gonna need the coldest ice bath after that game. But listen, there's a lot of conversations going around. Jimmy has to play better. Kyle's to blame. I think you really have to look at Kyle in this one and say, listen, you're down a running back. Okay, we get that. Um, but that's why you have Trey Lance. Trey Lance is your best running back out there. And I'm not saying start him, but you should have a package for him. Get him in the game. He is literally your best playmaker, and he's sitting on your bench with 3 first-round picks on the bench. So when you're down running backs, you have to change your whole offense and treat it like literally treat it like it's a short week. Those Thursday night football games, you just like, all right, we gotta do something because we're down, 3 linemen. We gotta change it up. And so I thought the the 49ers were just simply outcoached. You look at the Packers roster, and then you look at the 49ers roster. There is literally no comparison. I mean, offensively, we get it, but defensively, the 49ers, I think, have the upper hand. We have the playmakers, but it simply comes down to they weren't able to adjust, and that's unfortunate. So I really look at the coach, Kyle Shanahan, and say, dude, you didn't put your players in positions to succeed. If Trey Sermon can get you more than 3 yards per carry, and then offensive line needs to, control the line of scrimmage. We're getting dominant there. Haven't rewatched the game, but it looked ugly live. And so this is, your third round back. It's a bad look if he's not able to, step in and perform. So either way, how you dice it up is not looking good. And let me go ahead and let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about what the hell was happening. Because when I look at this, Jimmy Garoppolo, 40 attempts, more attempts than Aaron Rodgers. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, how is that possible? We know Jimmy is nowhere near close to Aaron Rodgers, and he has more attempts. Sure, we're behind. We're kind of trying to play catch up, but you really expected Jimmy without a run game to just flat out be in shotgun and carve these Packers up? They were sitting on routes. They're like, we know you're not going deep. You're not throwing outside the numbers. We're gonna sit in the middle and just jump every route. And I was talking to Aaron during the game. I'm just like, why don't they just change it up? They're sitting on routes, act like you're going for a slant, and then just cut up field. Like, you have to change the routes. And don't tell me, he shouldn't have time. The Packers literally had no pass rush the first 2 weeks of the season. No pressure whatsoever. So now if they do have pressure, does that speak more so to our offensive linemen not being able to protect? Alex Mack, I mean, I was seeing there, he got beat a couple times. So again, I haven't rewatched the game, but from what I'm seeing live, it looked ugly from the offensive line. I'm not saying that Alex Mack was to blame, but there was a couple times where I seen him chasing the guy, and that's a real indicator that you just got beat. So that to me screams like, what the hell are we doing? Okay, Trey Sermon, 10 carries, 31 yards. I mean, he wasn't effective whatsoever. Kyle Juszczyk, 5 carries, 14 yards. This is what drives me crazy. George Kittle, 7 receptions, 92 yards, 9 targets. 9 targets. You'd expect an all-pro tight end to get 12 to 15 targets a game. Look at what the Packers did. Devontae Adams, 12 I mean, he had a monster game, right? If you had him in fantasy, he just went crazy. 18 targets. 18. Why? Because we know he's their best player on offense, right? Aaron Rodgers knows that. We're going to target our best player. Well, when push comes to shove, you kind of need that. You need that playmaking player. You're down 3 running backs, pretty much. We know George Kittle is our best offensive player. There's no doubt about it. Why not give him more targets? Maybe they did, but it's Jimmy's fault. I don't know. But if it's Jimmy's fault and he can't get it to the hands of your playmaker, then this is what I'm talking about. Put in Trey Lance to open it up. What do I know, right? All I know is Um, this looked like it was a bad matchup for the Niners, but on paper, it should have been the opposite side. Again, let's look at the sacks. 4 sacks on Jimmy. Um, I don't know. It felt like offensive line could have played a lot better, and I'm sure Jimmy held the ball for too long. But on the flip side, it's just like the Packers knew what they were. I mean, think about it. We're talking about LaFleur, similar uh, offensive system. So if they know what to expect, you have to change it up. Brings a different element. And in games like this, when you're facing like the Rams, when you're facing like the Packers, guys who are familiar with the system, you have to bring in Lance because he brings you a different element of the game. That's all I'm saying. Jimmy can beat, your average team like the Eagles, but now these good teams, they're not going to respect Jimmy. Jimmy can't throw the deep ball, and that's the problem. And the 49ers can't adjust. So, you have 4 sacks on Jimmy, only 1 sack on Aaron Rodgers, and that was a sack by Eric Armstead. Um, but defensively, you had your issues. They weren't generating a lot of pressure as you'd expect. So that was disappointing from the defensive front. Linebackers, I mean, sure, Fred Warner, Aziz could have played better. There was that play, right, like the second to last play before they won, that Devontae Adams pass right up the middle. Fred Warner just almost had it, but you got to just tip your hat to Aaron Rodgers there. Um, there's just so much wrong with the defense in the secondary. Injuries plays a key part, but also like you never want to leave a rookie one-on-one with a guy like Devontae Adams. Like that to me is inexcusable. To me, it points to D'Amico Ryan's like, what are we doing, dude? Like this gives me like early Salah vibes, and I hope that it is just that. Like over time, things will get better. But I knew coming in, there's gonna be growing pains with D'Amico Ryan's. He's a young coach. Like, what do you expect him to be freaking Lombardi out there? So I kind of expected it. We saw it with Salah, and we saw what Salah was able to do with a few years under his belt. So we just hope that D'Amico Ryan's gets there. And this is a completely different defense. I mean, it's heavily relied on the pass rush, and if that's not going, then there's no shot for the secondary. And so defensive front needs to play better. That's where we have all of our investment. So from that standpoint, that was disappointing. Then you look at the overall game. You're literally like Kyle played to lose, right? There was a point in time where the Packers went for it, 4th and goal, or 4th and 1, actually. It was 10 nothing at this point in time. And they went for it. They're like, you know what? We don't respect anything you have going on offense. We're going to go for it. They didn't convert. 49ers got the ball there. They're playing to win. They're playing to just go out there and get the win. Now, 49ers get the ball there. They move it close to the 50, or actually right at the 50. And then 4th and short. My opinion, you're down 10-0. You're going to kick the ball back to Aaron Rodgers with time on the clock. Your defense has been on the field for a very long time. Why not go for it? Because if you really think about the numbers, if you give Aaron Rodgers that time, well, your defense still has to stop him, like, try to slow him down for the field goal. That's still a two-possession game. Like, you're still playing the numbers game. If it's 10-0, then a field goal makes it 13-0. You're still down 2 possessions, so it doesn't hurt you. So if you, like, don't convert and give the ball back to the Packers, well, you just kind of hope that your defense could stop them for a field goal. No, Kyle played to lose, punts it. Okay, you punt it, give it back to Rodgers with time on the clock. They go down the field and they pretty much scored the touchdown. So that to me was a big, like, it just blew up in your face, Kyle. And you play to lose. Like, you're not being aggressive. You're you're playing like you have, 2019 defense with you. You don't. And so that sucked. That sucks, man. That really, I mean, we're like, damn, like at this point, you just try to make it a game, right? And so, hold on, just want to make sure. No, not the plane. Okay. And so the only thing that really saved us, that really made it a game, because literally the offense just couldn't get nothing going. Another slow start, back to back weeks. You can say no all year because even in Detroit, you had, the muff snap and it was a turnover. You have to, you literally have to get going quicker. And so, only thing that saved us is the Trent Cannon kickoff return that really got the crowd into it right before half. The 49ers, if it wasn't for that, the 49ers would have 0 points at half. And I'm thinking, wow, Kyle, you're gonna have 0 points at half? Like, you can muster up 3 points with Jimmy, Kittle, Debo, Ayuk? I get you have no running backs, even though you have a 3rd round draft pick in Trey Sermon, but you literally are not gonna you're gonna muster up 0 points? The Packers are good. They're not that good. Come on, Kyle. So, anyways, thank God for Trenton Cannon, right? Gives us field possession, like, at the 30, I wanna say. So, took us, like, felt like 17 tries to get it in, but, that's when Trey Lance came in. Finally, I think it was 4th down, right, and scored, but Jimmy couldn't punch it in, or this offense. They can't get going. They have no rhythm. Feels like it's the first preseason game every game. And so, to me, I have to put that on the coaches again. I'm like, you have to get guys going. Like, as a unit, if it's all as a unit, you have to look at coaches because it's not one individual. It's like the entire offense. Regardless of who you bring in, it's like the same story every time. So you have to look at coaches. And so I'm looking at Kyle. Kyle, you were this close. Again, a Trent Cannon kickoff return, away from having 0 points at half. Now, luckily, they scored the touchdown 17-7, and then they come back after half to get the ball, of course, and they go down and score 14-17. Oh, now it's a game. And we thought, like, okay, they're going to get things going. But then, like, okay, defense does its part. You stop them. You get the ball back. They stop you. And then it's like, all right, then what are we doing? So, yeah, there's multiple things that have gone wrong. And until the 49ers are able to, like, offense plays well, defense plays well, um, this is gonna be a roller coaster season. And I don't anticipate that the Niners are ever going to get to that point because um, injuries are really killing them, in the secondary, especially. So, defensively, I don't know how much you can really rely on them. It's really the offense, and the offense can never get into a rhythm. You have Jimmy just sometimes he's really not hitting his targets, even when they're wide open. He's getting a little happy feet in there, and Jimmy being happy feet. I mean, I'd rather see a rookie do that, because I know he's a rookie. But anyways, again, there's frustration on all levels, but in this game, I really got to look at Kyle and say, you really didn't use your best asset when you had no running backs, no rushing yards. Using Trey Lance's legs, at least to keep the defense honest, was the biggest miss of this all. I mean, we played like if we were a bad team just trying to we played like if, we're trying to prepare Lance, right? We're like, "Oh, he's not ready," like, the Bears, like, with Fields. Now, obviously, they had to put in Fields this week because their quarterback got hurt, but we're kinda treating it like that. Like, we know we know we're not gonna win. We know we're not gonna go nowhere, so we're just gonna keep on playing Jimmy and prepare Lance instead of trying to win that game with Lance using his legs. So I don't know. Kyle played to lose, in my opinion. He played the safe route, and that kind of sucks because I would love Kyle to have like the mentality of John Harbaugh in Baltimore, where he just like, you know what, Lamar, you want to go for this? Let's go then. Go for it on fourth down. Win it. And so I feel like you have to have that relationship with your players. And, if Jimmy can't convert that 4th and 1, um, that speaks more about you and how your offense can operate. So let's hope they bounce back next week. Again, this is a week to week league. So one week you could look pretty shitty. The next week you could look great and be in the race for the playoffs. But right now, the way they performed on Sunday night, they are not playoff in playoff contention. Nowhere close. So they have a lot of work to do. They know that. As always, appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace. Damn it.